This video will go over multiplication properties of exponents. So there are different rules depending on if it's being multiplied or added or subtracted or whatever operation is being done. So if we look at the first one and we want to simplify this, the first rule that goes here is you want to add exponents of terms with the same base. So for example, let's say we have y to the third. This is the base. This is the exponent. So if you have multiple y's that are being multiplied, you want to add the exponents. So you want to add the exponents of terms with the same base. In this case, all of these have the same base because they're all x. So you want to add the exponents here. So this is x to the 1. Because there's no exponent here, that means it's to the 1, plus 2, plus 5. So the overall answer to this is x to the 8. Okay, let's move on to number 2. So this has 3 parentheses 4. This is the same thing as multiplying 3 4 times. So 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, which is 81. And if you had -3, the same rules apply here, just with a negative. Now this will also give you 81 because a negative times a negative is positive. So a negative times a -3 here will get you a positive 9. And then a negative times a negative here will get you a positive 9 as well. So 9 times 9 is 81. So we're going to get a positive 81 here as well. Now number 4 is a little bit different because -3 to the 4 is the same thing as doing negative parentheses 3 to the 4. So this is saying to do 3 to the 4 first and then make it negative. Okay? So this is actually going to be, if 3 to the 4th is the same thing above 81, and we add a negative sign in front, this one is going to be -81. So be careful here how you do this. This isn't going to be positive, it's going to be a -81. Because the process of this is to do 3 to the 4 first, then add the negative sign in front. Now for number 5, remember from above here, -3 to the 4 ended up being a positive 81. Well, this is saying to make the negative version of that. So if this was positive up here, then this is going to be -81. So it's just a manipulation of parentheses and negative signs here that you need to watch out for. Okay, so now let's go on to if you have multiple variables in the equation. So the same rules apply here. Make sure you add the exponents with same base. Okay, so here we have a base of A and a base of B. So you want to add the A's exponents together and the B's exponents together. So this is equal to A1 plus 4 times b 5 plus 8. So the overall answer of this is a to the 5, b to the 13. And we do the same thing here. We just have 3 bases. We have a base of 2, a base of b, and a base of c. So this is equal to 2, 15 plus 4 times b, 7 plus 8 times c, 14 plus 5. So this is 2 to the 19, which is a really large number. When it's a really large number like that, you probably don't have to expand it out because it's going to be probably larger than what some of your calculators can provide. And then we're going to have b to the 15 and c to the 19. For number 8, you want to distribute your exponent that's on the outside of the parentheses to everything on the inside. So this power of 3 needs to go to the 2, the x, and the y. So if we rewrite this, this would be 2 to the 3rd, x to the 3rd, y to the 3rd. And this is small enough to write out and expand, so you can just write 8, x to the 3rd, y to the 3rd, because 2 to the 3 is 8. And if we look at number 9, we do the same thing. The 3rd power goes to all 3 terms. 1/2 to the 3, x to the 3, y to the 3. Now when you have a fraction, make sure that you put your power to both the numerator and the denominator. Even though this is 1 and it's still going to be 1, I just wanted to make sure you are aware of that. So this is going to be 1 over 8, x to the 3, y to the 3. So whenever you have a fraction, you want to distribute that power to both the top and the bottom. Okay. So that's how you do those. Let's move on to more difficult set of problems, but not impossible. So the same rules apply here. You just have to do some more steps. So you do want to apply the 4 into here. So let's do that first. 2 to the 4, x to the 3 to the 4, y, I'm sorry, we forgot another x. X to the 2 to the 4, y to the 4, and then y 5 to the 4. Okay, now for this one, and this one, for all of these, you want to multiply the exponents instead of adding. So whenever you have a setup like this with parentheses, when there's 2 exponents, you want to multiply them instead of adding them. So 2 to the 4 is 16, and then x 3 times 4 is 12. And then x again, 2 times 4 is 8. This one doesn't have any multiplication, it's just y to the 4. And then 5 times 4 is 20. So this is different than these. When you have individual bases being multiplied, that's when you add. But when you have multiple exponents, you want to multiply those exponents here. So now we're going to add our exponents for the same basis. 12 and 8, and 4 and 20. So our final answer is 16, x to the 20, y to the 24. Let's go down to number 11 and do that concept again. So this time we have two different exponents around the parentheses. So make sure you distribute correctly. And we can do our simplify. Again, 2 to the 4 is 16. X, remember you're multiplying these. You're multiplying this one, and this one. So this is x to the 12, y to the 4, x to the 6, y to the 15. And when you do your combining, so the whole point of doing all of this combining is so that you can have one term of each base. You don't want multiple terms with the same base. You want to condense it. That's the point of doing these. So x to the 12 plus 6, y to the 4 plus 15. So our final answer is x to the 18, y to the 19. And let's just do one more problem. This one's a little bit different, and I'll show you how. So if we first do our multiplication here, this will be x to the 8. But if you do your addition here, since these two are being multiplied, this is also x to the 8. So when you add terms with the same base, and the same exponent, you add their coefficients. So remember, the coefficient is the number out in front. Since both of these don't have a number out in front, it's assumed to be 1. So in this case, the final answer for this is 2x to the 8th. Okay, so that would be all for this video. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. Thank you.